right. Hello, and welcome to Chapter 4 at a Glance, Algebra Review. Understand that in this section we were looking for patterns, and many of the patterns are either an adding or subtracting pattern, or they're a multiplication or division pattern, and they have specific names. So most of the kids can do the arithmetic work. That's not the hard part. It's being able to put the words with the type of problem that they're supposed to do. So we start with, when you read the words arithmetic sequence and or common difference, you must know it is an addition and subtraction or subtraction problem. Okay, so whether it's addition or subtraction is based on the number they give you. So if they give you a positive number, it would be an addition problem. If they give you a negative number, it is a subtraction problem. And you have to remember to use words in explanation such as increasing or decreasing and by a constant. So a constant would be the same number. So if I'm adding 10, they would tell me that my common difference was 10, and it would be 10 to the original number, say 5, so it would be 15, 25, 35, 45. If they gave me that it was an arithmetic sequence, they're telling me that it's an addition or subtraction problem, and let's say the arithmetic sequence this time is -2. So the -2 tells me that I'm going to subtract 2 or add a -2 to wherever I start. So if I start at 100, it would be 98, 96, 94, 92, so on and so forth. Okay? So understanding that the words arithmetic sequence and or common difference are an addition and subtraction pattern. Okay. So we add if the common difference is positive. We subtract if the common difference is negative. 2. The pattern increases if it's positive. The pattern decreases if it's negative. All right. Now notice it doesn't matter whether the numbers are fractions or integers in this part. So you have to make sure that you keep in mind that you might have to add a fraction to a number, or you might have to subtract a fraction from a number. To find these common differences, remember it's always the second term minus the first term, and then the third term minus the second term. And that's when you should see the pattern. You can't just do one process. So remember, it's the second term minus the first, and then it's the third term minus the second. Okay? And you can see that pattern. It's all calculator work. Okay? And that's when in the software they took two numbers, they did this, and they gave you an answer. Okay? Most of you remember that from the software. Okay, the second part was when you read a geometric sequence and or common ratio, you must know it is a multiplication or division problem. Now here's the catch with this one. Division problems are written as fractions, correct? So if I write 1/10, that means I'm dividing by 10, because multiplying by 1/10 and dividing by 10 are the exact same thing. All right? So please make sure that you are paying attention to those words. Remember, divisions are written as fractions. So we multiply if the constant is an integer, meaning like 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We divide if it's a fraction. Dividing by 8 is the same as multiplying by 1/8. Okay. So knowing that when you see the words common ratio or common sequence, you have to understand that you are multiplying and or dividing. Please make sure that you also find your common ratio by writing the second term over the first term, and then writing the third term over the second term. Now remember, when you have the scientific calculator you're supposed to have, it will automatically reduce for you, but you should remember that you're supposed to reduce. So that would be the second term over the first, and then the third term over the second. All right, So again, paying attention to that these are written as fractions. If it's a common ratio that's multiplying, this becomes an integer. If it's a common ratio where it's dividing, then you'll end up with a number on top like 1, and the denominator would be the integer. So it'd be like 1/2, 1/3, 1/4. And remember, this is written as a fraction, and then on your calculator it will go ahead and do it for you. So for example, if it was a common ratio, or they told you you had a geometric sequence and the first number was 240, but the second number was 120, I would write it like that, and it tells me that the common ratio is 2. If they were backwards, if the first thing was 120 and the second was 240, excuse me, backwards. If it was 240 and then 120, then my 120 would go on top because it's the first number, 240 goes on the bottom, and you should see that now the common ratio is 1/2, which means I am dividing by 2. Okay? Dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2. So remembering that once you get this calculator, it does it for you. It is the TI-30XS. Okay, multi-view, it's blue. This is pictured on my web page. All right. Remember, if we're going to divide by 2, we don't write divide by 2, we write it as a fraction. Okay? And again, you're looking at the pattern going, it is increasing and or it may be decreasing. All right, next problem. We then get to the last part, which was 4.3. And 4.3 deals with formulas. We have explicit and recursive. Explicit formulas, you don't have to memorize them. Recursive formula, you don't have to memorize them. You're going to have them. The thing you're going to have to know is what the letters stand for. Okay. You also have to know which one's arithmetic and which one's geometric. Okay, so they're not going to tell you, but you should be able to tell by the letters which one's arithmetic and which one's geometric. Obviously, the arithmetic starts with an A and the geometric start with G. But you will know that these formulas are linear and exponential because this one has an exponent. All right. Now, how do I know whether I'm using explicit or recursive? Here's how you know. In explicit, they're going to give you the first term, and they'll give you the difference, and then they'll ask you for the 35th term. So that means you would put the number 35 in here. So they're going to give you the common difference, which is what D is. They'll give you the first term, and then they'll ask for the 50th term. You would put 50 in here. 50 minus 1 is not 49. So you do 49 times the common difference and then add it to the original term. If it's a geometric sequence, again, they're going to give you the original term. This time you're going to multiply because geometric means you're multiplying and or dividing. In this case, we're going to multiply. And then this is the common ratio raised to a power. Now, when you raise it to a power, that's called an exponent. That's why the graph is exponential. Okay? Now, the difference is, in a recursive, they're going to give you the previous term to the one you're looking for. So if I'm looking for the 25th term, rather than giving you the first term, they're going to give you the 24th term. Or they're going to give you the 28th term if they're looking for the 29th. Okay, so it's the information in which they give you that causes you to pick which one. Okay, if they give you the term before what you're looking for, you're going to use recursive. If they give you the original term, then you're going to use explicit, the first term. If they give you both, you can pick. You're going to get the same answer either way. All right? And those are the problems that we're going to be working on both Wednesday and Friday, and your test is on Monday. So it's pretty straightforward, not too complex, knowing that arithmetic is linear and geometric exponential, okay, and being able to find these numbers. They're not too fantastic. Remember, recursive is used when you have the previous term and your ratio and or common difference. And arithmetic is used when they give you the first term and the common difference or the common ratio. All right. Other than that, hopefully you do lots of practice, and good luck on the test on Friday, or excuse me, on Monday. I will have a review sheet for you to do Friday that you can reference for the online review that is Saturday at noon. Thank you very much.